said tonight, directed at me, existed for her on Love and Hip Hop. Her conversations with Ebro were about her being blackballed in the industry and how nobody can help her. Her conversations with me at the time were about, damn, niggas is blackballing me. I had a radio gig. It's serious. There's nothing I could do. Yada, yada, yada. Her fight with Consequence, even in the studio, and this is ages ago, is about that. Raqi has made a reputation for herself back then, and it's nobody's job but hers to fix that. Um, and I
Yeah,
get,
I
and I
mean,
get. Wait,
I
hold on. Let me go, because I didn't want to talk in there because that was like the messy boots room, and people be recording and niggas be looking for a show and a crash out, and I'm
mhm.
not giving it. But I could hear the hurt. I could hear the hurt in her, and when you hurt and you're not doing the work, you're gonna want to hurt people, which is why, right? Like she started naming all these names. It's like, yo, dog, you volunteering people who don't want to be volunteered, who have kids, who have. Yaris would never say a negative word about me. Yaris would never in her life say a negative word about Joe Budden. Sharina would never say a negative word about Joe Budden. Who else did she fucking name? Audi would never say a negative word about Joe Budden, which is why she didn't go to court to say a negative word about Joe Budden. None of these people would ever speak ill on my name. The only toxic relationship was Tahiri. That was horrible. Esther wouldn't say a negative word about me. We went to court together. She told the judge herself, he's straight. Please leave him be. So, I mean, because she hurt, she just started dragging people's names into shit that don't need to be dragged into shit. Just lying because you angry. And I get that. But at some point, you're going to have to repair. Like, I loved what Grandpa Rick was saying there. At some point, you're going to have that tough look in the mirror, like I talk about all the time in the podcast, and have some uncomfortable conversations with yourself. As far as me, I think I've been pretty vocal in why I don't speak to Raqi anymore. When Kaylin was around, Raqi was trying to get her to be a fucking escort to the stars. She was trying to bring her around all these little fucking celebrity parties like she was what they call that? What do they call that? The mother something. And then we stopped talking. And then she apologized. And then she tried to pull a fast one with Cynthia. And that was the last straw for me. I haven't spoken to Raqi but one time, maybe two times in 8 years. There is nothing that Raqi can say about me currently. And maybe she don't know me currently, and I don't know her. But all of this shit is just malarkey. And it's some of y'all, not y'all in here, but it's some people in the community, back to the Clippers, the people that want to monetize everything, which is fine, but now y'all platforming people with ill intentions who you don't know, who are on record to be harmful, and you're going to turn around and call yourself a fan of me. I'm not viewing it that way. I'm not viewing it that way. I am going to look for a resolution because that was disgusting. I don't think Imani deserved that. I had no idea that he even texted Imani. I've been on the phone with Imani all day. We've been on the phone with each other all day, talking each other off the ledge. But he's Puerto Rican, so I knew he was going to go first. But yeah, he didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. But I'm glad y'all got to hear that because some of y'all with some sense could maybe hear why some of this stuff is occurring and will continue to occur. That's all.
You weren't surprised by this, were you, Joe? Like
No,
her
not
reaction?
no, 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 no. Listen, I wasn't surprised by any of this. It's the same. It's the same people every time with the same shit. It's never no new trick. It's not nobody that's in my life that I'm in communication with. It's people that's hurt that want to look to hurt me. It's the same every time. I wasn't shocked. I wouldn't even speak to her in that room. Like I don't speak to people. When I'm done, I'm done. But no, it wasn't shocking.
It's far too obvious that she She just needs a friend, and she wants, y'all know how it go in high school. When you stop talking to somebody, now they're asking everybody but you, hey, what happened, why did we stop talking? But then envy builds up. You see how successful he is. You probably can't go a day without seeing somebody repost the podcast or something, and it's like, well, I hate him. And like I said, it's just throwing stuff at a wall, trying to make it stick, and she doesn't want to do the work. It's easier to get on here and type. That's free. It's easy to get on Instagram, tag the shade room, and hide the tag. By the way, I saw that the tag is hidden, but they were tagged. They didn't just screenshot that by chance. They were tagged, and not do the work. And that's why I just can't respect where this is going. No, how this started.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a situation, and I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but I feel like it was probably a situation where she came to you with maybe some ideas or trying to do certain business with you, and you just flat out told her no, or hey, this doesn't align with what I'm trying to do or what the vision that I have going forward, and it just ended up getting messy from there. So then she started harboring resentment from those no's that she gave you instead of just trying to remap some things, do business properly, and then possibly get that yes. And now it's like uh, she's trying to clout chase at any given opportunity whenever certain situations or certain topics get brought up. That's what I gather from it. And you can correct me if I'm
What
wrong,
I
Joe.
gather from it is that as a random person in this little stranger bullshit, is that Joe did exactly what he said. He cut her off at the knees, and so that annoyed her because you're not responding to me. We used to be friends. What the fuck happened? Now you're ascending, you're on your way up, and I should have been there because at some point you and I were besties and blah blah blah. So I think this is just a case of the, bitter shit. Like I really do because I watched and I'm just have my glasses on to my TV. I'm just watching it. Joe just, as I said earlier, he to me, he chose his relationship with Tahiri over his friendship with
Wait,
her.
wait, wait, wait,
And
wait.
she just
No,
never.
no, no. Wait, wait, wait. No, 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 no.
Okay, okay, hold on, let me mute my little mic.
Yeah, no, I
Let him
didn't. No,
clarify.
that's not true. That's just kind of like some love and hip hop overlap. Just so we're clear, I wasn't speaking to. I wasn't really speaking to Tahiri in that love and hip hop episode where they were in the yard about to fight. All that shit she said, neither was she. Like, so all that shit about, hey, we was on the phone, we planned this, we was gonna throw drinks, please, it's a crock of shit. That was all real time action. Don't even play with Mona Scott Young like that. So I wasn't speaking to Tahiri. I grabbed Raqi and got her out of there because I believe Tahiri would win that fight. That's it.
So
I
when
told
she
her
was
that to
like,
her face. On the
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
damn
you
remember
said
that.
you
TV.
saved her from a beatdown.
Yeah, I wasn't grabbing on her to hurt her. That was my friend in the moment, and I felt like Mona had put me and my friend in a jam with this hostile chick that got hands. The fuck?
Hey, so if I just heard you right, you saying where she's concocting all this from is from that moment where you grabbed her for her safety. That's where she's getting her part of the story from.
I'm only getting that from what she just said in that room and what I've heard her say in the past.
That
That's why I came off mute to say like, "Hey, what's the issue here? Like, what are we talking about? What's the gunshot wound? Because I'm
Yeah,
lost. I don't
it's
get it."
made up.
But she actually said that she wouldn't say what it was, but you knew what it was, which
Yeah,
was
but that's
vague,
that's
but
cappuccino. That's cappuccino.
right, yeah, because I was gonna
that's what
ask, were you being
Cappuccino had me know.
No
facetious
cap.
or you really didn't know?
No, no, no. I
And
was
my
dead
thing is,
ass.
if she's so quick to like say everything else, why not say why you're mad at Joe, or you just want to have the crux of just being able to just keep saying his name over and over because you haven't made anything actually really clear. You know everyone else's details. What about your details?
She doesn't.
It sounded like she wanted to piece it up in there.
Yes.
I low key think she would like to piece it up as
That's
much
what it
as
sounded
I
like
don't
to
want
me.
a thing from Joe. Yeah, okay, but yet you're ranting and going on while Joe is listening to the space.
They
Yet
gonna
Joe
She
call
is
said
me a
she
like
was living the
fucking
soft
narcissist.
life.
Marley.
I think
She said
90% of the people that I stopped speaking to would like to piece it up. That's my own opinion, but that's what I heard in there from her.
I
Yeah, she
think
Like,
you
said
should
she was
just do a
living the
human
soft
show
life
with her.
though.
no,
She
Have an
said she was
episode
good.
of
I'm
humans with
not
her.
playing right now. But she's been lingering in the spaces the past few days, just listening on mute. Like this was bound to come to its head.
Honestly, it's coming off a little stalky though. Like she's
She an
stalking you and
opportunist.
everything that you
That's what
do. That's
opportunists
She
weird
do.
to
She
she
an
me.
couldn't wait to
opportunist.
hop on this. Like it was like she couldn't wait for some woman to jump on Joe, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming out." That's how I know she missed the nigga. Like, bro, full back.
Yeah, that
Invite her
was
to
crazy.
invite
I
her
And
was
to
why
a
she
watching
mention
it
phone
and
all
or
those
she
something.
was
names?
like tweeting. She was tweeting like a mile a minute. I was like, yo, you need to relax,
Relax.
girl.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
Well,
relax,
remember she
homie.
can't
Chill
relax because
out.
the doors keep closing allegedly. But the life is so charming.
That's
It's not
cap.
adding up.
We know that's cap.
It's not adding
But
up.
her life is charming though, right? Isn't
But
that what she said?
here's
Her
the
life
thing.
is
I
so
feel like
charming.
if Joe, I feel like we all feel like this. I feel like if Joe tomorrow gave her an opportunity or something, even on the pod, to like open the bottles of water, she would never mention him in a bad way
Oh,
ever
I'm
again.
going to sleep.
She just
Facts.
wants
Not
she
open the
Snooze fest.
bottles
because
of
there's nothing else
water.
she can do because we do not know this lady and she will not stand on business and start anything for herself. This is an issue. And at this point, I think people are taking it lightly, but this is harassment. It has to be.
I agree 1,000%. And right now is not the time because we're talking about that real life shit that happened with Cassie, not some other bullshit because he didn't want to be your friend anymore. That's whack of her to use this serious moment and try and put this shit on Joe. That's
And
whack to me. That's really really whack. As a woman, as a black woman, as a fucking wife, as a mother, as all the things that I made up of. That's kind of whack to me because that episode today, Mr. Joseph Anthony Buttons II, was well done. Salute to you. Hats off. Y'all handle it well. And I don't like that she jumped in to try and shit on a very serious topic, you guys. That was horrible of her to do that. Really, really nasty work. That was
Yeah,
nasty
you know
work.
what? Thank you for that. But there's always going to be somebody to try to stop you from doing the right thing, right? Like we went there and did what the fuck we had to do today. A lot of us felt responsible for it. You know, we was joking with Mel about her blazer, but I told her on the side, I love that passion. Like we came in ready to rock. I'm not letting any of my detractors or the predictable angles that I know is about to pop up deter me from doing the right thing. So it
I
is what
also
it
want to
is.
give my kudos to today's pod and having a professional also on standby. I think that was a nice touch just to like reinforce some of like the points people kind of already know, but having the professional there kind of like stamp it was a really nice touch. And it was something different because everyone's kind of used to, oh, you guys don't research, but I felt like you guys took the time to like actually add a little extra to have that touch there. So I appreciate that as well.
I'm glad y'all did. Glad y'all enjoyed it.
And I will get to some hands as I believe Lovelace and Orlavita's rotating.
Yeah, I was
Chris, you
about
could
to
go
say that.
ahead. Yep, Chris, you can go ahead, and then we'll hear from the new people that Lovelace just let up.
I enjoyed the pod. I think that they did a great job. And I really just wanted to kind of reiterate and put it back out there again, especially for anyone coming in the room or who didn't hear on the last space we were in. I want to give my kudos to Imani because I think he did a great job on the pod and I think he's doing a great job. And I feel like there's a conversation that needs to be had on when men have struggles coming up or they have missteps or they have griefs,
Uh-oh.
the different things that he's talked about that she kind of just blurted out, homelessness and money and financial. It's a drag for men when they have these things and they try to overcome it and work and go to work every day and do what they need to do. But we don't treat women like this. When women have issues and homelessness and financial issues, we champion, oh, great, she's working, she got her career, she's this, she's that. So that's why today, what that happened to Imani, I think that sucks. Joe, I hope that he's in a good space. I hope that he can hear the high vibrations of those of us who can see the work that he's putting in, because there are millions of us who, when we're coming up in our 20s and 30s, we have credit card issues, we have debts, we make mistakes, people cheat, they mess up relationship, they this, that, and the third. Why should that have to dictate and define who you are today? And today he showed up on that podcast. He addressed an elephant in the room. He spoke his truth on what he may or may not have ever witnessed. And the focus is on the deviant that we saw in the video, which is Diddy. That's what the focus is. And those facts, what we know, that's what I hope we focus on. I want to champion for Imani. If you're listening or this gets to you at some point, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work and know that in this journey with the seismic value of this podcast, you're going to have days and weeks like this. But in the long run, just keep the long run and the overall message of those of us who see what you guys are doing, keep that at heart.
Amen.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, and we can move. Oh wait, where do people go? You scared them off, Lovelace?
Nah, that ain't me. We got
Nah, we
three. I
here.
was seeing if any new requests came up, but hold on. We got how many spaces we got open? We got
It was three people up here when I last looked. They gone.
no. It's six up here now. Six up here now, and then we got two more.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
was just
clearly I
rotating out,
need
trying
to
to get some new people up.
Okay, well
yeah.
while we're
Can y'all hear
doing
me?
that, yeah, we can.
Yeah, Joe,
And
we
I
got you.
and I do want to say too, while you guys just brought up Imani, a little part of me wish now she was talking, but like she was being like calm tone. Imani did come in hot with, and even though the Floyd point may have been valid, he just came in really hot. So it like kind of took away from the good point he might have been making. Kind of go to the gutter with her, but a part of me is like, man, fuck that, because once you talk about me, it's up. I don't give a fuck. But I
No
just think,
cap.
yeah, I just feel like he just, he just come so far, and I just love seeing his growth on the pod. And it's just like, don't let the shit you've been transparent with us about, like, don't let those digs matter. And I don't think they probably matter to him. I think he's got pretty tough skin, but uh Imani's never came up there and tried to be some, oh, I got it, Mr. I got it nigga. Like, he's never been like that. So I think to try to say, oh, you was homeless nigga, like, okay, and he's been transparent about that before, so it didn't really do what she thought it was supposed to do, or what it was gonna do.
But don't you think that's exactly the point? Is that she tried to like come at him as a man to say you ain't shit and you ain't got shit, you ain't never gonna be shit, like all this stuff that she was attacking him not only just as a
That was
man but
fucked
as
up
a
too.
person.
That speaks to how evil she is, though.
Yeah, that shit
That's a
was
Agreed.
fucked
fact.
up. I hate that she was saying that because it was like, yo, the brother already held himself accountable, for his mistakes, for his missteps. You know what I'm saying? He's telling us that he's working day to day to be a better person. Like you can give grace to that. You know what I mean?
But also, what the fuck does any of that shit that she's talking about got to do with her? What? So
It had
what?
nothing
So
to do with
what
her
about
at
his
all.
ex girlfriend? So what about another baby? So what? But he is not your. That don't got nothing to do with you.
She
But
want to
can
see
I
that
say?
nigga
Oh, I'm sorry.
fall. Stop playing with these kids. Stop playing with these.
But the point he brought up about Floyd was valid, by the
Absolutely,
way,
but
too.
stop
Like,
fucking with these niggas, man. That's gonna put people next to you, man. That's gonna put the bag in danger, your reputation even more in danger. Stop playing with these niggas, man. Please
No
stop
cap.
playing with them, man. These little ass niggas, man, who be playing for clout, weird internet games and shit. Stop playing with these niggas.
Hey,
I'm
I
gonna
just
tell
want to
you
say
right
before they
now.
started, I said mute these niggas because I already heard it in his tone. I
Stop
said
playing with these women, and then
that shit
women, you
crazy.
know they don't mean you no good, Joe. For whatever reason. I don't know nothing about that, man, but them women, man, will try to destroy you. And you know that. Stop playing with these niggas who would give people like that, who would destroy you if they had the opportunity and eat off your dead body, the bones of your carcass. Stop fucking with these niggas, man.
I'm
Stop
gonna tell you
fucking
a
with them.
Well,
couple issues
we're
that I
we're
have with
literally
this
here
entire
because of them.
thing.
Stop fucking with these niggas.
One of the things that I have an issue with is for Rocky Thunder. You want to attempt to put everybody else's business on blast, but none of these situations have anything directly to do with you. So at this point,
you're just basically being problematic, because if these women who have been involved in these personal relationships don't want their business told, who are you to go and try to spread their business? Especially if
She put 10
especially
on that
if
list.
it's, but here's my thing, especially if you're advocating for abuse or you're trying to actually stand up for those women, you could have actually triggered them. You also could have gave away public information that nobody knows about, and then you went out your way to do so only for humiliation. My second issue is with Tahiri. We have watched you try to impose on your relationships publicly. We have also watched you be as violent to other women as well as to men publicly. So when y'all sitting here trying to say abuse this, abuse that, if you gonna put it on the table, if you passing leaks, you abusive too. There's something that exists called bilateral abuse. I personally don't constitute it as abuse, but we all know that if you look at the numbers, 7 out of 10 times women initiate domestic violence situations. When your feelings are hurt, your hands move. That's how you learn to communicate. I don't constitute bilateral domestic violence as abuse because both of you are hitting each other. When you learn to have relationships like that, that is the dynamic of the relationship. And at that point, to me, I don't view anyone as a victim. You're complicit. So when you have people like Tahiri come out and try to make it seem like, oh, well, this is the situation. Okay, well, you're also the person who has publicly advocated for Joe. You publicly said you hope you wishes him the best. You hope that he moves on. You want him to find a relationship. You want him to find someone who loves him. But you also have said you're gonna forever be his friend. I'm so sick and tired of this back and forth with the abuse thing, because there are so many women who just won't say, you know what, this some bullshit. There are so many women who just will not say, we seen what happened. Yes, this may have happened to you, but I've also seen you publicly say, hey, I'm past this. I've also seen you publicly say, hey, don't bring this up anymore. I've also seen you publicly say, I have forgiven him. So at what point do we stop playing with the bullshit when it comes to domestic violence, abuse, and toxic relationships? Because there's a definite line in between all three.
And also, least not forget when
Yes,
there, least
Paris.
not forget Paris, when there was a fucking check involved for Tahiri, she signed the fucking her name on the dotted line to film every single scene with Joe Budden. She was not upset and that fucking
Talk
mad
about
at
it.
that nigga that when she
I'll do
wanted
you
to,
one
And she didn't
better.
want
When
when
him to
there
lose
she
that
wasn't a
bottle.
check involved, we
even
watched
that
Tahiri
that part,
impose
yes.
herself
Wait a
on
minute, y'all,
Joseph's
one at a time.
relationships. We watched her. We watched her impose on two different women. She imposed on Sid Santana when she wasn't getting no camera time, when she didn't have this type of shine. We watched her do it multiple times. So at what point are you crying wolf? And at what point are you actually saying, I'm a victim of the circumstance? Because I call bullshit.
And Joe was very honest to
So
all of us, where he said the relationship was toxic. Not just that he was toxic, that the fucking whole relationship in tandem was toxic. We watched her, and I like Tahiri. I don't like, I'm just a fan, so I don't have like no fucking dogs in this fight. But I watched her. She knew that it was annoying the fuck out of Sin. She knew it, and she played to it because she didn't care. Because it wasn't about, let me get this abuser and put his name out on the blast because fuck this. No, 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 no. She played into that shit. And how foul is another woman to know that you are bugging the shit out of his current, to just be like, I don't give a fuck as long as I get a check. But then every time his name is brought up, she's so salty and he was so abusive. And oh my God. And so I can't believe he has the nerve to, I just don't. As a woman, I don't fuck with that. But again, I keep telling you youngins, I'm old. So I'm old school. That's some bullshit. And I don't like it. I
Well,
don't
the
respect
I
it.
think sorry, Miss Queenie. I think the main thing with Tahiri that it's kind of like Rocky saying something is like a bark to Tahiri to like, hey, get up. Like they're both trying to throw something at a wall and make it stick. And I think what's so honorable is that Tahiri has admittedly said, like, yeah, I was fucking him up too. She makes it seem like Joe would come home and just give her knuckle ham sandwiches. No, they were fucking each other up. It doesn't make it wrong
Yo,
and it
she
doesn't make it right. But this narrative really needs to stop, because the conversation was about a very real video of a really big man kicking and abusing a very small frail lady in a hotel room. Nobody's talking about that anymore. That's what's important here. How
It's
did
a
Well,
that
that's
come
dead
also
up?
my
body in the
issue
middle.
because
Listen,
She
that's also my issue because when you talk about Rocky Thunder, her initial issue wasn't even with Joe. She threw Joe in the situation to attack somebody else that actually had seemingly ties to Diddy. So at this point, to me, it comes off underlining. And when you say shit like this, the first thing people say, oh, you're defending abusers, this, that, and the third. Well, let's just go ahead and put it on the flow. We all know that nobody trips or says anything when a bitch tear up your clothes or she bleach your clothes or she
Exactly.
damage your property or she
Yep.
calling you out your name or all of this shit is abuse. Let's just go and call it what it is. When you talking to a nigga and he a
Key in the
bitch
car.
this, bitch that, you putting your hands in his face, you getting up in front of him, you provoking him. The shit is abuse. We just watched the bitch walk up, the Hispanic bitch walk up, hit her nigga and hit another nigga who was his friend, all because he was sitting there with another bitch. And you got girls going viral saying, "Oh, this cool, this, that, and the third." Y'all don't care about abuse. Women do not care about women. Y'all the same ones who got Jocelyn Hernandez, Natalie Nunn currently viral right now. Krishan Rock currently viral right now. That bitch used to black, blue face eye. We used to watch it. Y'all was cool with it. Stop playing with me and y'all talking about abuse because you don't give a fuck. And as far as Tahiri, the shit is old. The man has moved on. Y'all never established nothing. You didn't make it nowhere past Love and Hip Hop. You didn't make it nowhere past y'all YouTube series. You not getting picked up nowhere. You're not even making no fucking podcast. So at this point, your ties to him is clout chasing. Just leave it the fuck alone. It's dead. If that's your experience, let it be your experience. But stop bringing the general public in it to try and make us have some form of warped mindset about a person's character. Because at the end of the day, you ain't gonna tell the full story about when y'all was fucking.
Because
So
you were
leave us out of
complicit.
it.
Yeah. Yep.
Woo, amen,
She
Paris.
just got to
Speak
go
that
to
shit.
therapy for real.
God
Period.
damn.
She just got to go to
No,
therapy for
you
real.
smoked that, but
No
I
cap.
do think she has a podcast.
Hey,
Joe.
Cape, I'm gonna bring you down and bring
she
Oh
somebody
well,
do.
up,
we
but I'll
ain't
bring you back,
discussing
It
that
bro.
ain't
shit.
the Joe Budden podcast, but that's cute, Joe.
it's a dead body in the middle of the street, and God
And
bless his name.
again,
Hold on.
what we're talking about is something completely different.
No, it's the
What we
same
saw
thing.
on
It's
that
the
video
same
has
thing.
nothing. No,
It's
no,
the
no, no,
Diddy
no.
thing, and everyone is standing up trying to get attention or build some facade of fake morality, or they want the content. There's a dead body in the middle of the street. The hyenas are out, and everybody's trying to eat. Everybody's trying to
That's
eat
But
fucked
adding
one
up
way or
somebody
people
to the
another.
mix
though.
is crazy.
That part.
That's where it all stems. That's when the hyenas come out and everybody's trying to eat in the form of attention, build some type of facade, or through the
But see,
content. That's when the hyenas come out, but
but
it's a dead
That's a
body in the
fact.
middle of
but
the
listen,
street.
but that's my thing though. The dead body is supposed to be Diddy, and that's my problem here. Like we're so far away.
The hyenas
We
don't
You're
so
care.
far
losing
away
the
from the
plot
plot. It's like, yo, is it about the Diddy shit or is it about personal grievances? That's my thing.
It's not about him. For the hyenas, it's just about, oh, it's a dead body, time to eat. They'll feast on anything. Anything.
People so caught up in narratives and rumors and this, that, and the third. I got a couple issues with a lot of this shit, but at the end of the day, right, we trying to move the goalposts too much as opposed to just emphasizing the facts. I don't care about the rumors of what happened with Diddy and everybody coming out because to me, you complicit. If you were aware that this was happening, even if you were on payroll, then you were complicit if you didn't quit. That's just what the fuck that is. So
Talk
I
about
don't
it.
care about the rest of it. At the end of the day, what's happening here now, you got a lot of people who trying to bring up old scenarios. Evelyn Lozada is one of them. These men have moved on. I posed the question, what's the real issue? Because if we watch them publicly apologize for their transgressions, then at this point, what we doing? Because it just sounds like y'all got an embarrassment kink to embarrass a nigga.
well, Paris,
And
in the
also,
other
like
one.
Niggas is
when Joe,
cold also.
Wait,
Let's
wait a
be
minute. Whoa,
real.
whoa, whoa.
Niggas is
One at a
cold.
time.
Niggas is cold. Joe is
Go ahead,
hot.
big homie.
Paris,
okay,
in
but
the
when Joe didn't speak about it on the Friday that it actually came out, because those of us that are true fans knew that they were in the middle of the fucking recording of the pod when it actually came out. I'm sorry, my laughter, that was rude. When it came out, we knew that they were in the middle of it, right? The internet freaking killed him that he didn't say anything. But that's because they understood at the time, whether it was Joe, his own self, Ian, fucking Parks, fucking Imani, They knew they needed to spend more time because this was something dead ass that needed to, they needed to sit with it. And I feel, side note, I felt that way when they did the review of Family Matters. I'm sorry, not Family Matters, that one's whack. My bad. I'm a Kendrick fan. Of Meet the Grams. They talked about it too quick because it came out the same time, right? Anyway, back to it. So we all knew that they needed to spend more time. The internet killed him. I watched it because I be in these Twitter streets. And they killed him, right? Like, oh, he's protecting Diddy, blah, blah, blah. He's just blah, blah, blah. Then they spent over an hour and a half, called in a specialist, shout out to Mel Ford. They spent a whole hour. Everybody was honest. They gave their opinion. Was not any, there was some uncomfortable silence, but that's because of the topic. Then they still killed him. What do y'all niggas want from him? What can he do that's right? That's what confuses me. What the fuck can he do? Can he say? Can he go? What do y'all want? That's a serious question mark for me. That's
They
it.
want
I'm gonna
him to
mute
agree with
myself
them.
and listen.
They want him to agree with them. That's what they want.
But agree with who? The people that
Who,
say
whatever they
he
think in
should
their
have
weird,
said it or he
whatever they
should
think,
not.
whatever they think in their weirdo minds, they want him to agree, or they
No,
want
it's
to
not
be
an
a Joe,
agreement
and
thing.
Joe
It's an
is the
ego
content.
thing. That's not what it is. It's an ego thing because, again, this is all based in humiliation. If you don't say anything, you have a platform where somebody validates your opinion or they feel like you have a honorary opinion, then they feel like you're the voice of reason. So if you don't say anything or bring something negative up, that means to them, oh, you must be in agreement. But if you do say something that's common fucking sense, nobody needs to tell you abuse is bad. Nobody needs to always have to use their platform to voice their opinion about something that should be common fucking knowledge. But let's be clear, Love and Hip Hop on season what now? And we watched Tommy Lee, we watched fucking Tahiri, we watched fucking what's that lady name? Jocelyn. We watched all these women put their hands on men. It's still going on. They still getting residuals. We watched Ray J wife, Princess, put her hands on him. We watched this shit. This shit's still going on. So do y'all really care about women being abused? Because Zeus right now, they doing numbers. Do y'all really care
They're
about
doing
women
big
abuse? Or
numbers.
are y'all
Numbers.
just wanting to
Big
Chris,
sit?
numbers.
Chris, thank you, Paris. Chris, we want to rotate some people out because there's some requests, but go ahead, Chris.
And that's why, like Paris is, I love that she's calling this out. It's a lot of toxic feminine stuff that we've been seeing from women today and over the last couple of days. And quite frankly, since that Diddy video came out, the fact that on the day that video came out, within an hour, we're discussing Van Lathan, a man who's been unproblematic, who was like, why would that even be a part of the plot? The fact that you have Evelyn Lozada gaslighting blogs when she's literally whipped women's ass on Basketball Wives, smacked them, tried to throw wine bottles and all kinds of things at them. The fact that you have women who, when they feel like erasing their wholeness, oh yeah, I'm not a
Don't
hoe
think I
anymore.
wanted me.
When they feel like getting as soon as they get a swimsuit LLC, I'm a businesswoman. But when men want to grow and they want to progress, they're no longer cheaters. They're trying to have committed relationships. They have to continuously be dragged by nonsense. The fact of the matter is, these women are angry that Joe has gotten his shit together. We have watched the man go from a round table 9 years ago, didn't even have a name to front of the podcast, to the man having his family. He had his baby boy. He stepped up to the plate. He's been with his queen for years now. He's employing people. He's working. He's dedicated. He's out of the way. And people can't take that. They can't take that. So they constantly, every chance that they get, let me come in these comments. Tahiri is gaslighting. We watched your ass in 2019 go on all these different interviews. Me and Joe were good. I'm the ex. That's the bitch claim to fame at this point. I am the ex. Get over it. Go get an LLC and cut the crap. And it takes women to call out this type of toxic behavior of women, dragging men who are trying to move on with their lives and have growth. But the minute they want to have seminars about their lives, I'm growing. I used to be this. I used to be that. Y'all can be that, but men can't. And it's unacceptable. And it has to stop. It has to stop.
The
Okay.
ladies are cooking
She
tonight.
cooking. She
The
cooking. But
ladies are
hey,
Cooking
cooking.
tonight.
hey, hold on, everybody. Hold on, everybody. I need y'all to raise y'all hands because there's so many requests so we can cycle through and then if you
Hey,
want
I'm
to
I'm
come
gonna
back
go
up,
down. Take me
you can
down. I'm gonna
come
just
back
listen.
up.
Everybody be
I got
easy.
you.
The ladies are cooking tonight. Salute to y'all. I ain't got a motherfucking thing to say. Stop fucking with these niggas, Joe, Imani. Stop fucking with these niggas, please.
Hey, look. So one, y'all making some really good points, right? Now I'll say I got two things to say, right? I got three daughters, and I can tell you right now, I see stuff in my household with my littlest daughters that they mom don't even do. Some of this stuff I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that, but women as a collective, y'all, it's just there's a major difference between women and men. So some shit is gonna look toxic, and I get it because it's just it's kind of how women operate. It's kind of how females operate. I've had to learn that having daughters. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of messing my brain up a little bit because I used to think a lot differently. I used to think we was real equal. But I mean we are, but we're just so different. You know what I'm saying? We're very, 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 very different in the way we perceive the world. You know what I'm saying? And so in knowing that and having a broadcast, the second point I would say is that all of this nonsense that you hear on the internet could have been mitigated with a very simple disclaimer at the beginning of the podcast. It's like, we recorded this prior to that horrific video being released. You know what I'm saying? So it gives the people an understanding like, all right, we know that this happened. But without that little disclaimer, this is what people do. This is why if you ever watch like TLC and there's, or like, what's that, Love After Lockup or any of those shows, if something happens with one of the castmates, they'll actually put that disclaimer at the beginning of the show, like, hey, listen, this happened. You know what I'm saying? So the network doesn't come under scrutiny. So Joe Budden right now is at a position where he's a network. He's big. He's a major voice. And the expectations out of the entire audience, including the female audience, is, hey, you got a responsibility to talk about current events, given even the stuff that's been said about you. And so we as men, we're gonna look at it like, oh yeah, whatever, woo woo. We don't think like that, but we have a female audience as well. You know what I'm saying? So everybody doesn't handle things the same way. So if you put a disclaimer in the beginning, it kind of softens the blow. Like, all right, we know this happened. We can talk about it because we know we have a certain segment of our audience or our fan base that is going to trip if we don't say anything. So I think a slight, it might have been an oversight or whatever you want to call it, but them little things, when you start looking at yourself a little, I can't say looking at yourself, but when you put that stuff out, it helps to soften the blow. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a PR thing. You know what I'm saying?
Alrighty.
That was a good word, brother. I got three daughters as well, so salute.
Pass the plate.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a lot of work. You know, I love my kids. My daughters are beautiful. My son is beautiful. But I could tell y'all straight up, like having daughters has changed my perspective on just adults in general. Like I can see the same thing happening with my daughters that we see on the internet, and I'm like, they don't be on the internet. You know, they do that behavior with each other, trying to one up each other, whatever it is. And it's crazy. It's fucking my head up. But the lack of accountability, stuff like that, I'm like, this isn't learned, but I've got to work with it. I've got to manage it. So me being a dad, me being an entrepreneur, I'm like, I have to manage my business. I have to manage my family a certain way. And so looking at the JBP, I can recognize like, all right, yeah, y'all covered it. However, to prevent that strike, that Cobra strike, you got to put your shield up sometimes. And it's easy to forget that. Just doing your thing, just making good content, being a good person, trying to do the right thing. Sometimes you forget to put your shield up, and this is the type of shit that happens when you don't walk around with your shield on your back.
Thank you for that. Because I do think that what's very interesting about this time, this portal that Cat to this conversation, and for there to be nuance, we have to dig deeper beyond just the people that are involved, but really talking about how it affects our community by and large, and even how it affects us as individuals. And so, yeah, Dub, I see you with your hand up. What's going on, Dub? The
Hey, how y'all
messy
doing?
maker.
Nah,
Dub the
listen.
mess maker.
Listen, I just came in here. I want to clarify anyone thinking like my intentions, and I want to apologize to the community, Imani, Joe, and anybody for misunderstanding my actions. I didn't text Imani to be messy or for content. I'm not even using this as content at all. I reached out because I met him, and I felt it was unfair, to hear negative comments about him without giving a chance to respond. Some might see it as messy, but I believed it, as the right thing to do. Now, Imani, if my, actions, upset him or whatever, I apologize. I started the discussion to speak about the podcast, and the title was,
See, that's the problem I have right there. I'm gonna make it my business to. I'm gonna put a stop to that. That one I'm gonna
yeah,
stop.
yeah.
Dub, I don't want you ever talking about me. I don't want you building no business off my name. You a nasty. That was a nasty. This ain't your first nasty clout chasing move with matters that are of personal matters for me. But then you turn around and start talking this fan shit, this podcast shit. A lot of y'all are just using that as like this thinly veiled guise to do other things.
No, that's what we was really talking
That
about.
was some sucker shit, Dub. I hear
Nah,
what you're saying. I'm not trying to debate you right this second. That was some sucker shit to You call yourself Imani's man. He even gave you an interview. And you
yeah.
platform that girl who all day long has been kicking his back in. I only know that. She blocked me. I don't see that shit. I only know that because he told me that. So for
Wait,
you
but
to
hold on.
so for you to platform that girl,
So for me to bring her up
nasty,
just on stage, for me
nasty,
to bring her up on stage
nasty,
is what?
nasty. But then for you to text Imani, it's like, yo, some of you niggas, listen, I've known this already, but some of you niggas way too familiar with very little at stake. Like I get it, you clip the Clippers, your YouTube, I get it. It's a crew of y'all. But y'all are now delving into places that like way too familiar,
So
with
wait,
no regard to how it affects the people that you calling yourself a fan of.
no, hold on.
So
I do
that's
understand.
all I'm gonna say. But trust you me, I'm gonna fix it.
Hold on. I do understand what she was saying to
You don't
Imani.
understand. You did the same sucker shit when Adam and Wack was talking about my girl.
Yeah, but I left that alone.
You didn't leave it alone. You
What are you talking
reposted it
about?
on your page. I
And I
said
took it
something.
down.
I said something to you. You didn't take it down right away. That shit sat there for hours. I
No, it
watched.
didn't.
I watched it sit there for hours after people came in that room and said to you, yo, don't you think this is a little too close to home? You should take that
N-
down. Your
No, no.
own man said to you, yo, you tweeted that?
Time out,
Like
but
you be on some sucker clout chasey shit.
no. You got it wrong. I took it down right away, actually, and it was still up on other people's pages, but I took it down right away.
Dub, even the way you apologize, it really just could be kept. Like you're saying, if anybody misunderstood what I was saying, no, we understood. You did that to be messy because you didn't even say what you even texted to Imani, but it didn't need to be texted. And then you're saying
I
if
didn't
I
text
hurt
nothing
Imani
spicy.
or whatever, you're saying if I hurt Imani or whatever. You're not even apologizing, and then you're saying I took it down, but other people kept it up. You have zero
I did a,
accountability, and you're
I did
so
it.
messy. I don't even
How
like
did
your
I?
voice. You're so messy.
Hold on. How did I not take accountability just now?
I took it down, but other people kept it up. Nobody's talking about other people. He's talking about what he saw on your page and how it's a constant thing of
Yeah,
you
hold
being
on.
particularly messy at any
Time out for a
given chance.
second.
Look at
Time
your
out for a second.
picture. You're messy.
When I posted it the original time, and when he came on, I asked Joe as soon as he came on. He was the first person in my space. I asked him about it, and I posted it probably 2 minutes before I started the space. And that's the God's honest truth. And then,
Dub,
yeah,
you a messy nigga, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna try my best to never hear your voice. I am. You have my word.
Yo, can I ask
uh,
a question?
yep.
Yeah, I was in the room. I came in later, and I feel like the niggas on stage outside of Joe. I understand why he said he didn't speak. They definitely let me turn this game down real quick. They definitely didn't hold you accountable for what you did. You saying, ain't you? Wait, hold on. First, are you a man of the cloth, or what you be doing when you be going to church? That's you, right?
A deacon.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
You, your profession is chilling.
I'm chilling.
I'm saying what you do for the
All right,
church.
all right.
I'm chilling. Listen,
No,
what
okay,
I
so
did,
check
what I
it.
listen, what
So
I did today was
you
not to
being
be
a man of
messy
the
though.
cloth, a deacon, I'm gonna trust Feetz. I follow her
Listen.
long enough.
Listen,
No, hold
I'm
on,
gonna
hold
keep it a
on. You
being with you.
had a
Listen,
whole space. Hold on, give me a second.
get your shit
You
off.
had that whole space. If that was your man's, because you did an interview, I don't know your relationship, but that I don't think that's your man's. And I know if a female, and I don't want to just leave it on her. So let's just say me and you are partners, right? And a female is talking shit about you, I'm not gonna put you or invite you to lunch with her so she can bash your head in front of a bunch of unknown people and say, I'm trying to protect you. This man is
Yo,
out
bro, hold on,
enjoying
time out for a
his
second.
night.
Did you think
Hold
I
on.
knew she was gonna do that? Did you
And
even
no,
think
no,
I
no.
knew
It
she
don't
knew
matter if
anything
you
about
knew. That's
Imani
not your people.
like
You're
that?
saying
I
that
don't even
your
know her like that
loyalty
for her
was
to
with
even.
Imani. That was your stance. This is my man. I gave him an aqua pana. Were
Yeah,
you in
but
front
hold
of
on, time
being
out for a second.
joking
Yes,
or
that's
not?
true. That's what I said. Hold on, but hold on for a second, bro. I don't know nothing about what she knows about Imani personally. I would never know that anything that she had to say that wasn't my intention. So I brought her up because other people was like, "Yo, she's in here. You're not gonna bring her up.
So
Bring her
okay, stay
up."
right there, stay right there, stay right there. You just
You have
said
no integrity.
you don't know why or what her intention was, but other people. So you allow other people to basically curate your room, not knowing the extent of what this person is coming to bring towards your man.
Well, yeah,
Wake it
all right. I
up.
see that as the mistake. I see that as my mistake, and I take accountability for that part. A
So
hundred
it
percent.
wasn't a mistake because you let it rock. You let it
No,
rock for a while.
and
You can let it get to the point where
yes,
you even if some wanted to, they can say you set up your man. You didn't put him in a position to win at all, to make him look crazy when he's really just trying to enjoy his night. And like dog, trust
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
what you did was so foul. Like there was
and
no loyalty in that. Like
listen.
if
Here's the
my
thing.
nigga called me and told me he wanted me to come meet up with a bitch because she talking about you and it's 100 people in this room and she's saying you did this, you did that, and you gonna sit there and wait, well, I'm gonna send her down. You wasn't doing him a favor by sending her down. You should have stopped that shit from get once you seen where it was going. Because I got in the room before it started getting really bad when Grandpa Rick was going, before Imani even came in, and then you text him on the side to basically incite his feelings and emotions into some shit that really is none of your fucking business, to be honest with you. You
Well,
know
I
what I'm
didn't
saying?
even
Like
bring it up.
even if she had that stance, these like dog, that shit was crazy. And the niggas really didn't say nothing to you. The women was trying to tell you, and you was really trying to mute this shit up. But you had what you needed. You had your clickbait moments, and you had your like your time to. You even told me that's OD when I messaged you. When I
Yo, bro,
told
the
you
crazy
talking about
part
that's
about it,
OD. What was OD about it?
no, it
Like
is OD.
you
It
really
is
not for the
OD.
culture if you talking about you're curating space and you talking about a man of cloth and your title was sacrificial lamb. Like there's a lot of ways
Yeah,
that shit could have went just based off what you were trying to basically incite or portray based off you trying to be the first to curate clickbait and this person over here doing this space and like it's sick. It's really an obsession that y'all have over this dude and this
you just
content,
looking
man.
at it. I
And
think
y'all really need to
I get
check
the way you're looking at it, but
y'all
it's
moral
not that way for me.
compass. Like you really need to look at yourself within and be like, why do I feel so prominent to basically make money off another man's back? Like what is it about you niggas
Make
that
money.
how y'all was raised? Yes, if you're doing stuff for content creation to get clicks, nigga, you're trying to monetize off of somebody
Wait,
else's
one
You
moment,
hard
said
sir.
fucking work.
I think that by the content, to be more specific, is Dub on your page. It seems like for a couple of scrolls, for a couple of minutes, you kind of just clip or kind of like retweet or tweet things about the podcast. Like you make your
Mm-hmm.
own clips, and please don't. Ugh. And then it's just, I think what Joe was saying and what the other gentleman is saying is. You just have no, you're lacking accountability. You're saying you're sorry, but you're really just kind of saying that to like
No,
seem
I'm saying he ain't got no morals.
then
I'm
I
not
think
saying he lacking accountability. He has no morals,
that's
no
what I'm
integrity,
saying. I
no
agree.
value of self. I'm not saying nothing about no accountability. We're past accountability. That was morally wrong if you are a man of the cloth to lead people into a destination unknown and to solely have their faith relying upon what you're teaching them, and then to come in a internet space and do the complete opposite. That's crazy.
and
That's crazy.
And I
That's
also think too, as a content creator, and I didn't know this before Joe said it just now. You said that you got an interview with Imani, and I think from somebody that's just from Twitter or that's just from anybody really, to have somebody like that give you a look or give you an opportunity in that type of way, and if y'all aren't mans like that, that makes it even more crazy because he's really throwing you a real
Yeah, he
alley
did
oop.
you a solid,
Yeah,
nigga.
he's throwing you a
yeah,
real alley
facts.
oop, and
I
Hold on,
thought
you
hold
that's
know
on.
not
No,
your
you're right.
man.
No, hold on.
how do you
Y'all right. That's why
Y'all
I
got to
felt like
give
I
him a
texted him.
chance to respond.
No, hold on. Y'all are right. That's why I felt like I had to text him. But I get what y'all saying. And listen, hold on. I'm gonna keep it a bean too, right? Today I was on IG, and when I do be listening to everything Joe be saying when it comes to the content creation shit, right? You get a lot of scrutiny. That happened. I apologize. I was really sincere. I'm keeping it a bean, right? Now, when Joe posted his comment today in the shade room, it barely got any likes. People hated that shit, right? But the other person's tweet got mad likes. But he was speaking from the heart and being true, right? So now you're gonna get. I feel like I didn't even say much in there. When you listen back to that, you're gonna hear me, taking Joe's side about what she's doing. That was the whole point, when she got up there for me. But
But
outside of that,
Dub,
it is what it is.
let me ask you a question. The point of you bringing her up, and listen, I want to say this. I'm from the Bronx. I know people who died like this. Like having somebody set them up on some weird shit. I know people who died like that. So when people are telling you that the move that you made, while even if you thought that it was going to be some innocent whatever just internet shit, it was really some the orchestration of it all. Do you understand why that could be
Yes,
seen
yes,
as
yes, yes,
It
like
looked like you lined them
diabolical?
up.
yes.
yeah, I
It
think
Well,
really looked like
Exactly,
you
that's
lined
what I'm
uh-huh.
trying
somebody
to
up.
say. It looks like you lined both of them up
For the reason,
intentionally.
I think for the reasons that Dub that you're saying you had to call Imani, I think everybody in here is saying those are the exact reasons that you should not have called Imani.
right.
All right, that's valid. Okay, I
All
understand.
right, that's peace. That's peace. Let's move it around. We got like 7 people requesting up, so I'm just gonna rotate. Dub, we appreciate you coming and speaking your piece. I'm not gonna allow this to become the kick his back
All
end
right.
moment. We all feel our ways about it. Let's move on.
Is Lovelace talking? What? I can't hear Lovelace.
I hear you, Feetz.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Feetz. You can hear me?
If Lovelace is talking, I can't hear him. But
I
anywho's,
hear you. Yeah.
listen,
You,
y'all.
you hear me now?
It's time for me to probably go touch some grass. I am in Miami. And, I just think with all the hoopla going on, we've pretty much already concluded what's going on here. And, Dub, you've already gotten your lashings a little bit, but well deserved. But, wait, there is some new. I'm going to let y'all get y'all little shit off before we go, because I'm about to.
You about to? You about to?
Hello, Jay.
What's going on, people? What's going on? Listen,
What did you have to add to the conversation?
I don't know. I just kind of feel that it's like I feel like Joe kind of thinks 3 steps ahead. So even like not just doing the episode straight on Friday, waiting till it's just like I think it's like I think we've all kind of seen this happen multiple times.
Jay,
I
it sound
think
like you in the
I
trenches, dog.
Feet, can you turn your mic off, please?
oh sorry,
Go ahead.
I said yeah. I think because like we've all seen it kind of happen multiple times where like they've all tried to bring up old drama, but it's like it's all smoke and mirrors. Because really and truly, since everyone's on this clout chasing and stand on business stuff, stand on business. Like if it's out there, let it drop. But it just seems to be half-hearted words. And even when I think someone in there asked her what's the actual issue, it's still the same thing of like, oh, I don't want to say it in front of here, but he knows what it
Well,
is.
even up to now, we still don't even know the fucking issue. So there's that.
You see what I'm saying? But like I said, it's like the guy sees it 3 steps ahead. So like it's really and truly, it's like it's just one of those things of like when you're just trying to level up and go forward, and people still trying to bring up old stuff, and it's just like, but if it is what it is, then cool. Let the chips land where they may. But if no one's trying to put nothing in the pot, why are we trying to stir it in the first place?
All right, you can go ahead, Kay.
Hi, everyone. I just want to give kudos for these spaces. For the longest, just getting back to the original topic, talking about Diddy, it's hard to sometimes separate the person from the music, and, you make excuses. So I'm glad that these hard conversations are coming up, being accountable and accepting. Not saying that's what he's doing, but it's causing us to really look at who we follow. They say, right, you shouldn't you need to be careful with who you emulate because they may disappoint you. And on one hand, we know that people are human like us, like the regular Douglas. But on the other hand, we do hold those we deem important to a higher standard, right? So when they fall, it's difficult, and I can't separate the person from their art or from the music. So once stuff started happening, I'm like, okay, I'm taking them off the playlist and anything related. Same thing with Ye when stuff was happening. Like I was in those fashion shows and I just I, I couldn't separate it. So I'm glad these spaces now we're forced to say things need to change. Women need to look at what they're doing to other women. We need to look at what we're doing to our men. And it's a larger conversation. I just really hope that it doesn't end here, that it comes with some accountability. And that's it.
Well, I appreciate that, Kay. Well, oh, good. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to hope everybody have a blessed and beautiful night.